And then all I hear is when we're getting ready. Well, I walk past is like his mum. I hear the sound. It's by himself running out. We're live, so I'll say anything you want.
Yeah, how does it feel when you ask like a deep question and the dude just comes back with like a one-word answer?
But you never ask a question that they can give you a one-word answer. Right.
See, I wouldn't know that.
You can ask us about altitude, walking around.
Yeah, walking. I can imagine. I feel the altitude. He said we're live, so. Yeah, Brandon, so don't say anything. I know you. I'll get back, like, I feel like I'm tired as I'm just laying there staring at stuff, like, Supercross is the worst. Yeah. You just sit there and you just want to punch yourself in the nose and knock yourself out, like, 2 in the morning, I'm just laying there.
Welcome back, race fans, to the post-race press conference here in Thunder Valley for round 20. My name is Taryn Robinson, and it is my pleasure to introduce to you our 450 podium here tonight. Your overall winner, Jet Lawrence. Your runner-up, Eli Tomac, and rounding out the podium, we have Aaron Plessinger. All right, Jet, we're going to start out with you today. You managed to hold off strong competitors like Plessinger and your brother Hunter in Moto 1. What was going through your mind during these intense moments?
Well, I was starting to question if I was colorblind because I swear I looked back and I saw a red bike and then there's an orange fender on the inside in one turn when I went wide. So I thought I was colorblind at first, but then I saw it was AP and those two, I think they had a lot better lines than I did in the first one, and I was struggling with my line choices a lot. In that one, kind of, when you're out front, you try and stick to your lines, where when they're behind, they can kind of adventure a little bit and find different lines, so especially on these conditions. But it was good. We had a good battle. It was fun racing against AP in that one. It was I had fun in it. And yeah, it was good to see HJ up there again. Yeah, just a good first race.
Well, congratulations. It's nice to see you up here again. And Eli, a strong performance for you today as well, but Jet just got the edge in both motos. What were some of those key moments where you felt like you might have been able to close the gap, and how did you adjust your strategy as the race unfolded?
Yeah, I felt like in Moto 1 I just got a little bit hung up when I I made a few pass attempts at Hunter, and then I was never able to finish it, and then kind of got stuck like in a bad pace. So that was frustrating, and then had a little bit of luck when he fell over there with that, and then that put me in the third, and then the second moto, of course, was able to make a better charge. Was pretty close to Jet. I thought I had a really good line, and then got a little excited and dumped it over. So it's tough to make that mistake again, and it is what it is though. Jet's riding really well, and I'll just try again next weekend. Well,
congratulations. And Aaron, with such a strong start to the day, how did you stay focused and keep your energy up, knowing that you had a chance to take the overall if you could pull off a solid second moto?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of easy, just keeping the energy. I don't know, that first moto was really, really fun, and I was really amped to, like, when I came off the track, and it didn't feel like it fatigued me at all. And yeah, I made a little bike change going into the second moto, which I should have just left it alone. If it's not broke, don't fix it. So yeah, that was kind of on me, and I kind of struggled that second moto, the second half of that second moto, and yeah, it was man, it was such a good day, and like Jet said, I had some really, really good lines, and I think I should have been a little bit more patient and waited till maybe the last lap to try to make the pass, because when I made the pass, he figured out all my lines and all my secrets. So he went right back by me. But like he said, it was such a fun battle, and just being up there with those guys and battling and making passes is all I can really ask for. But yeah, we'll go back this week and try and figure it out and come back next week and try to get this elusive win.
Thank you, Aaron. Congratulations. We're now going to be moving on to questions from our media.
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports. Going to stick with AP for a minute. How much of this early season surge belongs to what happened at the end of last year? The building of the confidence, getting the results showing what you knew was already there. Now you're racing against a completely fierce field with these guys back in it. But how much of it started last year?
Yeah, I would say a lot, but I think the thing that helped me most is having a full Supercross season, not getting hurt, and then coming into outdoors totally ready. You know, I haven't had that since 2021, and in 2021 I got a few podiums in outdoors, and man, it's like my body just feels really good. Like that first moto, I felt like I could push, and that's when I made the pass on Jet. I was like, I said to myself, run and hide. But obviously he didn't let me. So, but no, I think a lot of it stems from just being solid all year, not having injuries or nagging things, and my body feels super, super good. I feel like my fitness is where it needs to be, and I just need to be a little bit more patient, and I think one of these will come to me.
Thank you. And for Jet, you're known for managing a gap pretty well, and when people start to close in on you, picking up the pace. Is any of that happening now? Because you got caught a couple of times, you seem to find a different gear, or are you even able to manage the gap now with the competition that we're seeing?
It kind of changes, obviously. When I have a really good flow and I feel like I can pick it up, I can. It's like, depending on the track. Today, it's like, you don't really want to fully send it just because these ruts are so deep. If you try to go any faster and lean it over more, it's going to grab the bottom of the fork lug on the inside, and then it pitches you up. So it's kind of got to be patient, stuff like that. I mean, the few times once AP got around me, I kind of had to send it a bit, and I think that was the squirreliest I was all day. Because you just got to give, like, these guys are riding really well, so you got to give that little extra sometimes when they're at the right time. But it was a tricky track today, more so, to try and manage, because, like, it's very easy to make a mistake and try and looking for the good lines when you're leading is hard, because you don't want to take a bad line then have them hit the good line, especially when Eli was close or AP in the first one. So it's like, it's a bit of a tricky kind of position at this track, but normally when I feel comfortable and stuff like that, and it's a little more open, you can kind of pick your lines. I feel like it's a little easier to manage.
Jim Kimball with Motocross Action for Eli. Eli, in that second moto, where I was standing, I could see you catching or gaining ground on Jet. I didn't see the moment you tipped over, but I heard the big sigh of the crowd. How close were you? Close enough to make a pass when you had tipped over?
I mean, where I crashed, no. I mean, it was kind of single foul through there on the inside, but I was just trying to do my best to be all over his rear wheel in that turn, because it was the next downhill sweeper where I was going inside, and it was faster up until that point. So, I mean, where I crashed, no, there was nothing going to happen.
Just a quick question for Aaron. Aaron, kind of maybe to tag off Dan's question, it seems like you're really a well-rounded 450 guy right now. I mean, you always could win, but it seems like you're consistently up front. Do you feel a change?
I don't feel too much of a change. I'm pretty much on the same setting that I ended last year on, and I think I've just gotten, like, my base fitness level is a little bit better, so I can push more. But I've gotten a little bit better at, picking good lines and just keeping watch. I learned a lot in Supercross that I have to move around and not stick to one line. So I've been doing that a lot. And, I think I'm just, overall getting better. I think, a couple years ago, Jet came in and kind of elevated what we're doing. And I think we have just gotten better, all the guys around him. So I think we've just kind of grown as a 450 class. And I think we're going faster than ever right now.
Johnny Hopper with MX Unfiltered. Jet, it's really pronounced how you ride a motorcycle, especially when you have beast mode behind you. Make it make sense, because how you ride a motorcycle, it sounds almost slow, and it seems incredibly smooth, but you're not overly high RPMs, and it seems like there may be some coasting going on. Like, how... Make it make sense. How is it so fast?
It's all an illusion. But no, I mean, everyone rides how they feel most comfortable, and that's where I feel comfortable at. If I need to kind of send it a bit more and rev it a bit more, I can. But I mean, I know I don't like hearing my bike hit the rev limiter much. It's our bikes also like to be ridden in that lot media section in the power. So. And I kind of surround my bike and set up around that, and I don't know, I feel like when I'm able to coast and stuff like that, it's when I kind of ride close to my best. It's just when I'm flowing, I don't have to use extra energy. But, I think I just had that style ever since I was young. I mean, I think I got it from when I was first hopped onto a 250 when I was 14. I was tiny, so I wasn't very big to muscle it, so I kind of would use the torque and try and use the power a bit more and to help me out, because I couldn't just muscle it and slam everywhere and kind of, especially through the braking bumps, because I was so tiny. So I think it mainly comes from that, and that's kind of how I prefer to ride my bike,
AP, theoretically, Tomac may be going to KTM. Is that going to be, you guys get along? Are you happy to potentially have him as a teammate? Hypothetically speaking, of course.
Yeah, dude. You kidding me? Frick. I think, if that happens, I will have been teammates with Chase, Coop, Ryan Dungey, Tony Caroli, and now Eli and Marvin. Like, if that's not a solid lineup for teammates in a career, I don't know what is. So yeah, I'm stoked if that happens. I think we can, learn a little bit. I can definitely learn from that guy, and man, I think it would be really cool.
Justin Schuler with Athlon Sports and Trans World Motocross. AP, I'll stay with you. I don't know how to follow up on that, but I got to ask you. Obviously, Dan started out your surge from last year and strong start to this season. What has been that biggest thing that you've learned, and especially, from going from one moto that, you misjudged the clock, and then earlier today it seemed like you judged the clock almost perfectly. So how do you take that momentum? What's the biggest thing that you've learned that you're going to apply to those last 8 races of this season to try to get your first moto win at 450?
Man, I think patience, man. I've learned a lot of how to ride this particular bike over the last 4 years, and just use everything that I've learned. And like, these guys aren't going to slow down, so I got to speed it up. And that's what, going back in during the week and just raising the intensity, which however I can, and just kind of doing what I've been doing, just getting good starts. And I mean, the best experience is to ride with these guys, and that's what I've been doing, and it seems to be really, really working out. So I'm going to try to, dial in my starts even more than they are right now, and just try to be better that second moto. That kind of seems like my weakness right now. So I'm going to just try to perfect that second moto like I have these first motos, and just be better.
So would you consider right now you're at the point just keep going that you've been doing, no major changes at all, you just keep doing your thing, you think you're going to
Yeah, for sure. I don't think I need to change anything. I think it's just a matter of time before, I get a track where I'm really, really gelling and I can, not motor past these guys, because I don't think that'll ever happen, but just be that much better. And I think time is ticking, so I'm ready for it whenever it does come.
And now this last question is for you, Eli. How did it feel coming back to the track, racing in front of a hometown crowd after your return from 2022?
It was nice. I mean, I haven't raced Thunder since 22, so good to be back and have a healthy weekend. I've had some unfortunate luck, like at Denver Supercross, so it was to the point where I was kind of getting actually some eerie vibes. So just happy to get through the weekend and see the Colorado crowd.
Well, congratulations, all three of you. That was Jet Lawrence, Eli Tomac, and Aaron Plessinger. We thank you all for your time. We will now be moving on to our 250 podium. Now we welcome up our 250 podium here tonight. Your overall winner, Chance Hymas. Your runner-up, Hayden Deegan, and rounding out the podium, Levi Kitchen. Opening question for you, Chance. First of all, what a performance today. You grabbed both hole shots and you led the race from both start to finish in both motos. So overall, how did it feel to get out front early and maintain that lead, especially with someone like Hayden behind you?
Yeah, it felt really good. That monkey's been on my back and I could never get it off, so it was finally just me executing a day like that, and Hayden was riding really good, and we kind of left everybody. So no, it was just starting the day off fastest both practices, whole shots, and leading every lap. I mean, it's hard to do that. So no, it was a special day for sure.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And Hayden, great performance today as well, despite some bike issues that you had. Can you walk us through what happened and how it affected your racing strategy, especially with you still fighting for the win in both motos?
Yeah, I'm not sure. They said, at first, they're like, it's on you, and then they're like, it's not on you. So I don't know what happened. I just lost all my power. Is what it is. And then second moto, ended up tipping it over, but whatever, 2-2 on the day, so not bad, and we doubled the points.
Well, congratulations, Hayden. And Levi, strong second moto today for you as well. You were able to come back and get that podium despite a more challenging first moto. Can you walk us through what happened in Moto 1 and how you managed to regroup for Moto 2?
Yeah, even Moto 1 was actually good, just not on paper. I started probably outside the top 20 and then fell second lap. And, I just can't put myself in that position. So, and then second moto, same thing, bad start, but I feel really good. I just need to start up with these guys, and I really want to race with them and have some fun.
Congratulations, Levi.
Thanks.
We're now going to be moving on to questions from our media.
Thank you. Dan Beaver, NBC Sports for Chance. I think this is your second win. The first one was, a 4-1. Was there more pressure involved in this, trying to stay perfect, also knowing that Hayden finished second in the first moto, and you could still win the overall if you bobbled that one time?
Obviously the pressure's there if you let it be pressure, but I knew it was going to be dogfight the whole day, honestly, and I just was really focused all day, and this week I just had my head down and trying to get the bike better and get my body better. So I think coming into this weekend I was just really confident, and I wasn't letting the doubt creep in my mind. I knew if I went and executed everything, I knew I could be up front and win. So that was just my goal. And I mean, even if I didn't win and just executed everything that I wanted to execute, then it was what it was, But to go out there and execute everything the way I wanted it to be, and to me, it felt like I wasn't super happy with how I was riding in the middle of the motos when Hayden was catching me, and I feel like I made some bad line choices around some lappers. So wasn't really happy with that, but I mean, on paper, having a perfect day, it feels really good. So obviously the confidence is high right now, but I'm still pretty far out of this thing. I need to keep this going if I want to get back in it.
Jim Kimball with Motocross Action for Levi Kitchen. Levi, I have to admit, seeing your positions maybe in both motos on the first laps, I wouldn't have expected you to get on the podium. But so talk about how you were able to come through the pack and get third.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't think I would be on the podium either until about, I don't know, halfway. I just trusted in myself and my ability, and shoot, the second moto, I mean, I could see them. They were like half a lap ahead of me, but I could see Tom and Joe, and I think I was like 20 seconds down from them with like 6 laps to go, and I don't know. I mean, I just like unlocked a new speed at the end. It was actually pretty cool, and got up past both of them, and somehow an 8.3 got me a podium, so I'll take it.
Johnny Hopper with MX Unfiltered. Deegan, a little bit of a rebuttal based on the first question. You weren't the only one. I was walking around the track, and I could smell multiple bikes burning, whether it was oil or it was the clutch. A lot of guys were getting the rear brakes really hot to where they were squeaking. But that's not my question. My question is actually why you decided to start on the outside of Chance during the second moto.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I was going to go up there. I didn't even really care where Chance was. I was just found a good rut, and I knew if I could carry some speed around, I'd come out good. I kind of got pinched off on that inside, but that rut was solid, so that's why I chose it.
I kind of want to add to what he said. I don't know if people can realize, but those ruts were like horrible. Like there was like 5 good gates to choose from, so that's probably why he went out there.
Justin Schuler with Athlon Sports and Trans World Motocross. Chance, obviously you sweep the day. Jet also sweeps the day, so Honda sweeps the entire weekend. What does that mean for you to be a part of that for the team and for Honda? And then I guess to follow that up, this day, like this level of success, not just a win, but this whole sweep for you, what does that mean for the rest of the season for you?
Yeah, it's special to contribute to it. You know, I was around when they almost won every championship in 23, and then obviously with how dominant Jet's been, and Hunter, and even Joe this year. So it's frustrating. Obviously I love those guys doing good, but I want to contribute. I want to be that guy that's also bringing those wins to the team. So to finally do it in this way has been really cool, and obviously sharing it with Jet is special. I mean, Jet's one of my best friends, so I'm stoked for him, he's stoked for me, and obviously the whole crew, 450 side as well. I mean, everyone's just amped, so yeah, it's a big family over there, and the vibes are high. So yeah, I'm just I think we're all just really proud of each other, and we push each other to be the best we can be, and when we get knocked down, we help each other get back up. So yeah, it's I wouldn't be here without any of those guys, backing me.
Now this last question is going to be for Hayden. With your second overall today, you've proven that you can still compete at the top level despite challenges. So how do you plan to maintain this level of performance moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, today was pretty good for what it could have been in that first moto with my bike almost blowing up. But, yeah, honestly, it's a consistent day, and I doubled my points gap. A lot of these guys threw away their first rounds, and that's where I'm good, is I'm just consistent, and that's why I win these championships. So, yeah, I just want to stay consistent throughout the year, and if it's a 2-2, then we'll take it, but obviously we want to be winning. So we'll go back to work this week and hopefully come out on top next week.
Thank you, Hayden. Congratulations, gentlemen. That was Chance Hymas, Hayden Deegan, and Levi Kitchen. We will now be moving on to our WMX podium. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time.
Congrats, guys.
Now we welcome up our WMX podium tonight. We have Lachlan Turner for our overall, Charlie Cannon for our second, and rounding out the podium is Jordan Jarvis. Lachlan, congratulations on your first win at Thunder Valley. I know we talked about it a little bit yesterday, and that must be very exciting for you. Coming into this race with no previous experience at this track specifically, how did you approach adapting to these conditions, and what was your key to staying focused?
Honestly, I just rode my heart out there. I wanted it bad. The track was good, yeah.
Thank you. And Charlie, you've been showing some steady progress in the WMX class as well. With the unpredictability of the track conditions that we addressed yesterday, how did you approach today's race, and what do you think was the key to your success?
Honestly, I just went out there and tried to give it my all. Had to be smart. The track was pretty brutal, but I struggled a bit, I won't lie, halfway throughout the moto. Just with my strength in my hands but look, second, I can't complain too much.
Congratulations to you as well. And Jordan, it's nice to see you up here as well. I know you've come back from several different injuries from the previous races, so it's nice to have you up here and making a healthy return. Tell us a little bit about that last lap for you and what got you on the podium tonight.
I don't know if I'd say a healthy return, but it's a return for sure. I was struggling a little bit. Like Charlie said, grip strength was definitely not there, and the track was pretty gnarly, so that made it really difficult. But I just stayed close enough to be able to capitalize if a mistake happened, and I got lucky. It's not the way I want to get on the podium, but I can't be mad at a third.
Thank you, Jordan. Congratulations to you as well. We are now going to be moving on to questions from our media.
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports, for Lala and for Charlie. I knew. What was it like to be able to battle together? You've got the American champion, the Australian champion. Those couple of laps that you guys were side to side. What was that like, and is this what we can expect for the final 3 rounds?
Definitely more battles. Yeah, it's awesome actually having someone to battle with. Lala, she rips, and it really pushes me to also be a better rider. So I'm looking forward to being 100% healthy and having some good battles throughout the whole moto.
Johnny Hopper with MX Unfiltered. This is actually a question for the panel. Was it nerve-wracking knowing that you were going to be on live television and only having one moto? Did that bother you? And to follow it up, should we be seeing this every weekend? Would you guys be okay with just having one moto following the 450 or 250 guys every weekend to finish out your season? I know a lot of fans, including myself, would like to see that happen.
I definitely think it was cool. Being on live TV didn't necessarily bother me much, but I personally would like to have 2 motos. I think it shows your athleticism and everything like that to be able to hold on and ride strong for both motos. But this was an awesome event. This was really, really cool. I don't think this has happened since the Ashley Folick days, being on a live television or app, excuse me. So it was pretty cool. It was great to be a part of it. It's great to be up here for it. It was awesome to ride with these girls, even though I really wasn't a part of it for too much. I just kind of showed up at the end. But no, I think this was a good start in the right direction.
Yeah, no, I think it's awesome that even at least one of our motos get to be on live television. It's good to showcase what women are capable of, and in this era we've got some really talented girls, so hopefully in the future we can keep building it, and even having one race on Saturday and one on Friday would be pretty cool to get some live stream for us.
Oh yeah, it's pretty sick to be on Pro Day. I feel like it makes us want it more.
Expect to see either any one of you 3 race against the men this year or next year?
Me. I'm racing the High Point National next weekend. We'll see how that goes.
There we go. You know what, as media,
I think it'd be sick to race with the men. I definitely need to really pick up my training to last a 30 plus 2 or whatever, but I can see that in the future. We've got some good talent, so I think it's possible.
Yeah, my plan is definitely go race the men eventually.
That'll be something to cheer for. Justin Schuler with Athlon Sports and Transworld Motocross. Jordan, it was kind of touched on a little bit about that last lap. Obviously, when they crashed, I think you were roughly about 20 seconds behind. So, did you know that they had crashed, or did you find out when you came across that turn and down the hill or up the hill, and then saw them and then realized, oh, I may have a chance at a podium here, and then just kind of walk through what's going through your mind as you see that, as you pass them, and then getting to that checkered flag?
Yeah, up to that point, I was struggling a little bit. I've never struggled with my breathing here or getting necessarily tired from the altitude, but I think I was riding a little differently than I normally would, trying to keep some pressure off my back, and I definitely wasn't breathing properly, so I started cramping up pretty bad, and my fingers getting pretty sore by the end. I wasn't totally sure how far behind I was, but I came up the hill and I saw some yellow flags, and I hoped. Not that I want anyone to get hurt by any means, but a little tip over every now and then works in my favor. And then I saw them both down, and I think Kylie was still struggling to get up, but I saw Michaela getting up, and I was like, oh, I better get going. I got half a lap to go. I better pull something out of my butt. So, yeah, I mean, I'm thrilled with getting third. Like I said, it's not how I wanted it to be, but I'll definitely take a third. I know they're probably not very happy with it, but definitely made my weekend a little bit better.
Out of all the other times that you've ridden, would you say that last lap was probably one of the hardest you've ridden ever, or at least in a long while?
I wouldn't say the hardest. It was definitely tough trying to ride through the cramping and everything, but I think the hardest, probably one of the hardest races I've ever had in my life was last weekend after my incident. I ended up going back out for Moto 2. Thankfully, they cut it to 10 minutes instead of 15. Normally, I'm all for a longer moto, but I was hurting after I came off the track, so this was different in a way, but still hard.
Well, congratulations, ladies. It's awesome seeing you guys all sitting up here with us tonight. That was Lachlan Turner, Charlie Cannon, and Jordan Jarvis. Thank you to all of our media and athletes for joining us in this post-race press conference. We'll see you next weekend at High Point for round 21 of SMX. Thank you all and have a great night.